What's going on, everyone? So, LeBron James, right? LeBron James, I think, is going to have an incredibly efficient season. I think this season is going to be very crucial for him. I think he finally has a clear-cut number one guy for him, something that he's been begging Anthony Davis to do for years. I love Anthony Davis, but there were a lot of times where he grabbed the reins and he's like, oh, here we go. And then you kind of really hand him back to LeBron, right? Like, and you know, you'd have to see LeBron put on the cape more often than not. I mean, how many times did LeBron have to go get 30 just for us to have a chance to win? And we didn't even win a lot of those games, right? Because Anthony Davis would just kind of, you know, have that roller coaster and inconsistencies. I mean, even on the conference finals run, you know, in 2023, like, it was kind of like, you know, one game he's great, one game he's bad, one game he's great. Like, it was just this like flip-flop back and forth and whatnot. And it was just like, we saw that in 2020, we got that Anthony Davis where it's like, oh man, this guy might be the best player in the world. Like this guy's unbelievable. Like, genuinely, like, people were like, hey, Anthony Davis got robbed out of finals MVP, right? Like, and he had LeBron James on his team. And then we just saw him never kind of get back to that version of Anthony Davis. Now, part of it was he put on some weight to play center, and like, there were factors into it, if we're going to be fair. But no, LeBron James now, without a doubt, has that guy that is not only going to be able to take the reins and help with the offense, but also everything. The playmaking, the scoring, the, you know, pace, the understanding of the game. Like, LeBron James has been begging for somebody like Luka Doncic for years. It's why they went and got Russell Westbrook and D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder 5 times and whatnot, right? Because LeBron didn't want to handle all the on-ball responsibilities and duties and stuff like that. He wanted to play more off-ball. You've seen him improve more off-ball and stuff, right? But to me, in order for this to fully work, fully embrace, and I do think it will, I don't think this works if we have a even 2020 LeBron. I think Luka Doncic and LeBron work because of where LeBron is in his career, right? You're 23, 41, like if LeBron was 35 even, right? Like, I think this is a tough sell, right? Because both guys are so similar and want to do so many things, and LeBron wasn't as good off ball as he has been and stuff. Like, but now I think it'll be a match made in heaven. And I think LeBron will adapt more to playing off ball than even last year, right? You saw LeBron slightly. Now, I see people like, oh, LeBron did it. He dropped 1% in usage. Didn't really. Did, but he did it. Not to the level in which you need, right? LeBron James, in his defense, right, to be fair, it's really hard to inject. Like, LeBron's used to a certain usage rate, on-ball production, being the guy and the best player and all those things. And then you literally go get a guy who is as good, if not better, who's younger and does everything you do, right, better at this stage of their careers, right? Like, so, I mean, outside of Jokic, Luka's the best offensive engine in basketball. LeBron's up there, still, for sure, even to this day, but Luka is better at that right now at this stage of his career, as he should be, right? He's third best player in basketball. Worse, I think he's going to be the best player in all of basketball this year. But to me, LeBron James needs to embrace the third option. That doesn't mean he's not going to go get his 20 or anything like that. He absolutely will. He's going to go get his 20, 25 a night. I'm not worried about that. And LeBron will never be a true third option. At any point, he's check ball, he's getting the basketball. And JJ even talked about how he wants to run and do things where everybody gets the everyone's involved, right? Like, doesn't want it to be something to where, you know, Luka has the basketball and Austin Reaves and LeBron are just kind of standing there like NPCs, right? Like, you know, like you want to kind of keep all three of them engaged and active. But to me, I think the best version of this team will be let Luka be Luka, let Austin Reaves be Austin Reaves, and LeBron play and work around them. work within the margins of those two, right? You might be thinking, Tyler, what are you talking about? You're crazy. LeBron James himself. So if you're one of those LeBron stans that are like, like LeBron James, like LeBron himself. So that means you disagree with LeBron James himself, has said numerous times from the moment they got Luka Doncic, right? Luka needs to be the best version of this team is Luka being Luka. Let Luka be Luka. I will figure it out on playoff ball. He did an entire podcast where he talked about and was getting just like, Steve Nash was good job, LeBron, way to play off ball off of Luka and just getting stroked because, he was playing off ball and dropped 1% in usage rating, right? He needs to drop more. Guess what LeBron said he did this offseason? He said he worked on his catch and shoot threes. He was asked, every year you try to improve at one area of your game. What was the area that you tried to improve in this year? He joked and talked about his golf swing, but then he said, no, in all seriousness, I've been working on my catch and shoot three. Why do you think that is? I think it's just LeBron, what? He just decided, hey, I want to be the best three. I want to be, better than Steph Curry from three. Okay, well, then he should be on ball shooting the basketball, right? No, it's because he knows he's going to be playing off ball more than he's probably ever played off ball in his career. You're probably going to see his three-point attempts skyrocket. He's probably going to average more three-point attempts this season than he's ever averaged in his career because he's going to be playing so much off ball. But the beauty is he still is big, strong, physical, and athletic to where he's going to be able to play off of Luka. And he's going to be able to break out in transition, and Luka's going to feed him that basketball, and you're going to get that, and you're going to get those backdoor cuts, and Luka's just lobbing it up, and Bron is slamming it home and yamming on everybody, putting them through the rim, all that stuff. You're going to get all those things, right? But we also need LeBron to be as preserved, healthy, and right as possible for that playoff run. There will be nights and games and moments and all of those things. There are going to be those moments where you really need LeBron to put the cape on one more time. There are going to be nights where it's like, hey, Bron, we need a Bron fourth, right? And LeBron's going to have to go out there and he's going to have to go get you 14 in the fourth or whatever, right? There's going to be those games. Luka's going to have a bad night or he gets the night off or whatever, right? There's going to be those games where we need LeBron to be Superman LeBron. That's how it works, right? But it'll be fewer and far between than when it was just Anthony Davis. This Lakers team is better with Luka Doncic and LeBron than they were with Anthony Davis and LeBron. You could argue LeBron and Anthony Davis are a better natural fit, but Luka is better than Anthony Davis and generates so much more than Anthony Davis. The only thing about Anthony Davis is the defensive side of things. But now you add in DeAndre Ayton, right? And we'll see if DeAndre Ayton can be the defensive player, right? That's the key. Can he be the defensive player? Not Anthony Davis level defense, but can he be like that Phoenix finals run defensive player? Because if he can, then the Lakers are going to be much better, right? You got to keep in mind, I love Anthony Davis, but we had a lot of years with LeBron James and Anthony Davis where we were missing the playoffs or a play-in team. I don't think that happens with LeBron James and Luka Doncic. I don't think Lakers are a play-in team, right? Obviously, injuries and things like that happen, knock on wood. But as long as they're healthy, they are making the playoffs. They are going to be one of the better teams in basketball. I'm not worried about the Lakers. Lakers, I think at worst will be a top 3 to 5 seed. I think it's probably more a 3-4 seed. But again, obviously there's a lot of factors that go into it. However, right, you need LeBron to be the most efficient, the healthiest, and most effective guy while still maximizing Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves. How do you do that? You do that by having LeBron he's going to have times on ball. I want to be clear with that. There's going to be times where you're running your offense through him and all that stuff. But we've seen how good LeBron plays off of Austin Reaves. We've seen at times It'll get better, but we've seen at times how good LeBron plays off of Luka Doncic, right? So to me, LeBron has to fully lean in, fully embrace being that guy, right? So to me, his usage rate can't go down 1%. He needs to drop his usage rate probably 4-5%. Instead of him being whatever, with 34, I think he was 35% and dropped to 34%. He needs to be around like 31, maybe 32 at best, or at worst, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Because, again, that means LeBron will still have the ball in his hands. LeBron will still be high usage, still be, the second or third highest usage player on the team. But you need to, Luka's going to be the highest. Luka's usage rate actually went up when he went to the Lakers from Dallas to LA. But in order to best maximize Austin Reaves as well, again, LeBron needs to embrace that role. LeBron will never truly be a third option, right? But at this stage of his career, and that's why I believe it works, because of where LeBron is in his career. I think LeBron knows and understands and sees and gets it, right? Where I think if this was 5 years ago, I don't think this works, because LeBron is going to be, 37% usage rate, and he's going to want to be on ball and do all the things, and he's going to want to get his 25, 8, and 8 and take 20 shots and do all those things, right? Where now I think he understands and gets like, hey, I'm in year 23. I am 41. I am all these things. I need to be able to take a step back, ride the young guys, let the young bucks carry you. And then when you need me, I'm here. You need me to go get 30 tonight? No worries, I got us. Right? But I think LeBron will just naturally progress to that. And he's even said it himself. He's talked about it himself, how he kind of needs to evolve more into that. And he talked about it. He's working on his catch, shoot threes and all those things. I don't think any of that stuff is an accident, right? I think all of that stuff is because he knows and understands, hey, it is very important and vital for me to be that guy. Very important for me to be the third guy. I don't need Austin Reaves to play more off ball. I don't need Luka to play more off ball. I need to be that guy that plays off ball. If that happens, I think the Lakers will be the best version of themselves. It's going to be really interesting to see. I'm excited. Got a whole training camp, whole preseason, whole regular season. Figure this out and get this done. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.